Hello and welcome to Chengi's World. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is a Men Talk Monday. It is absolutely one of my favorite categories, as you well know, ladies. So today I'm going to be talking about the women that men want. Okay? Thought you might like that. So those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, are my world. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, you know I love you. We are family now, my angels. So if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. And I am hoping that by God's grace, I will hit every continent this year. It is my goal and my mission. And if I happen to be in your continent or your city, I'd love to have lunch or a cup of tea, if that's what you do, or whatever it is that you do socially in your town and in your city. So thank you so much for joining me today. So today I wanted to talk about the men that women want, self-care, under the banner of self-care. Okay, so one of the things that I really wanted to share with you is talking about the reality that people love people who love themselves. We can only extend honor and love and affection to people who have a good esteem about themselves and people who feel good about themselves. And you know, it's sad, but it is the truth that people will treat you in light of how you present yourself. But above all, that we teach people how to treat us. I teach you how to treat me by the things that I allow and disallow in my life. Now, before we can even get to the point where we're dealing with offenses and people stepping on our toes, we have to ask ourselves the real question. This is a question I really wanted to ask you, ladies, because I get a lot of messages from you. Some of you are struggling with issues of self-esteem. You are struggling because your marriages are breaking down. You're struggling because your relationships are breaking down. You're struggling because you can't get a relationship. You're struggling because you can't keep one. You're struggling because you're getting ghosted so much that you don't even know what's what. You're struggling because you're ready to settle down, find somebody special, get married, and it just doesn't seem to be happening for you. Now, I've written a book, obviously, called Position for I Do, How God Delivers Mr. Right When You Live with Power and Purpose. And I really, truly believe that this is going to fundamentally deal with the foundations of the issue. But today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that we can begin to do as we work on our foundations. The book is not yet out, but when it is, you will be the first to know. I'll be sure to make sure that you are the first to know, because it's just at the moment we're just working on design, etc. But I want you to be aware, because you will play such a huge part in the success of this book and in spreading that good news and that message. Okay, so going back to my topic, the reality of the matter is we're just not taking good care of ourselves, ladies. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're not taking care of of the whole of our being. Some of you are great at taking care of your physical body, but you're not so good at taking care of your emotional and your spiritual body, and not so good at taking care of your mind. One of the things that I have learned a little, in a way, too late in life, I wish I'd known this when I was way younger, maybe in my teens, was that, you know, we are all very unique individuals, and we all have a health, we all have health issues. Now, there are those of us who are healthy. Now, being healthy is not necessarily coincidental. Healthy people tend to have healthy lifestyles. Fair enough, you might be one of these people who are born with the greatest DNA in the whole world, that no matter what happens, you just do not get certain diseases or whatever. And some people have a low immune system and were born with less, favorable genetics. But the reality of the question here is, what I am asking you is to understand yourself. Part of what I do, and will be doing a great deal with my new clients, or with my clients, is really working on self-awareness. Because you need to come to a point where you know yourself so that you can care for yourself. You're a very sacred, very beautiful person. You're very sacred. Your whole being is sacred, and you're very intricate, and you're very complex, and you're very magnificent. You know, sometimes we look at nature and certain creatures in nature, and we discuss their magnificence and the things that they're able to do, and silkworms, and oh my God, and aren't they just delicate and beautiful, and all these things that we look for in nature. But we don't realize that the most exquisite and the most amazing creation on the face of the earth is the human being. because we're all so different. Nobody has your DNA, nobody has your fingerprint, nobody has your fingerprint. You are you. You are the only version of you. But sometimes we act as though we come in bulk. We act as though we come with that we can take bulk treatment because we came from this manufacturer who manufactured like 1,000 of us. So we can take the same treatment as everybody else, and being confident enough to say, no, I can't handle that treatment. I can't handle that environment. I can't handle that kind of sleep. I can't handle that kind of diet. I can't handle that kind of activity, is self-care. I remember hearing self-care in the very beginning, and I was at one of the ladies networks that I'm with. And what she was talking about was just giving herself a nice bath and turning off the phone and just attending to herself and getting off social media and just taking time to be with herself and do the things that she loved. And I remember thinking, that is so nice, but that doesn't seem to inspire me to do the same. But that's what she felt she needed to do for that season. And then I thought to myself, wouldn't it be beneficial to have a system, something that you could do long term that would make you feel good about yourself as a woman all the time, because it becomes a system? And from that conversation, what she sparked in me was this idea of self-care, and how I could not only self-care for myself, but teach those of you who follow my channel and follow my work and subscribe to my channel, how I could help impart that to you. Because when we're not looking after ourselves, it has a read. And what it reads to the men that we're dating is often not what is actually the truth. What it reads is neediness. What it reads is emptiness. What it reads is, this woman is trying to get me into her life so that she can fill a vacant hole. And nobody wants to play that part. Sometimes what it reads is valueless, low value, because you are maybe well made up, your hair is laid, and your clothes are the bomb or whatever it is, and you're slaying all day, but actually your spiritual read, your emotional read is more potent than anything that you put on the outside of you. So when there is a congruency between what you are showing the world and what is happening on the inside of you, then you become powerful, okay? And we love powerful people. Men love powerful women because they're in their feminine energy, they're in their femininity, and femininity for a woman is a power. I want to leave that with you. And you cannot be feminine if you're not taking care of yourself. And so I want to talk about the mind, the will, and the emotions, which is the area of the soul. I want to talk about the spirit, and I want to talk about the body, okay? Because they must all be in synergy and working at optimum in order for you to give a high resolution frequency to the world, to attract the man of your dreams and to keep the man of your dreams, and to have a happy and healthy relationship and marriage. You need to be full in order to give from your overflow, because we're not allowed to give from our empty. We have to give from our overflow. So let's look at the area of the soul, the mind, the will, and the emotions. The mind is a beautiful, very delicate thing, and you are wired individually for yourself. The mind is something that we have neglected over time because of stigmas and labels. Whenever we hear about mental health, especially when you're talking about my generation onwards, it was something that was very stigmatized, something that came up in jokes, something that meant that you were completely irrelevant to society, that you had nothing to contribute. These were things that were implanted in our thinking and in our psyche when we were growing up. So mental health was something that we didn't want to hear about, but we didn't realize what we now realize, that when you are depressed, you need to attend to that. When you are that depression is like the modern day common flu. Depression will happen to pretty much everyone at some point in their lives. And what we do is we don't have the skills to deal with or even recognize when we're depressed, when something triggers our mental health that makes us upset or causes us to not be at peace. and to have the power to do something about it, to have the power to walk out of a room that is creating bad energy for you, to have the discipline to turn off the music that puts you in a certain kind of mood that is not healthy or helpful for you, to have the wherewithal to make the difference. And so I want us to be aware of ourselves. What is it in my world that doesn't bring me peace? Who are the people that whenever I'm around them, whether it's family, friends, whatever, when I'm around them, I feel no joy, I feel no peace. Okay? And if I have to be around them, what are the tools that I need to survive being with them? What is a mindset I need to have? That is self-care, because you are caring for the very inner core of yourself. You're caring for your mental health so you can have something to give to a wonderful person who's going to come into your life. Let's talk about the will. You have a will. Use that will, that sovereign ability to decide and choose what you will accept or not accept. For me, self-care is not waiting. I get really anxious, annoyed, and resentful when I have to wait for somebody that I have an appointment with for a lengthy time. I am happy to wait 15 minutes, sometimes 30. If you call ahead and say, look, I am stuck in terrible traffic, or this is what's happened, or just even by saying, sorry, running late, ETA, whatever, then it allows me to go and de-stress. I can go and have a coffee, go to the loo, do what I do while I wait for you. But I hate it when I'm left waiting with no explanation. I'm just sitting there because I would get into panic mode. Are they okay? Did they get into an accident? Should I call them? And then when I call you and you don't answer, then I get into the whole, are they okay? And then when I realize that it might actually be, and then you show up and you're fine and you just were late or you couldn't be bothered to say, that is when I really get upset. So as a result, and a way of my self-care is to say to somebody, okay, I will meet you at 3, but if you are running late, please let me know, because if I wait for you for 15 minutes and I don't see you, I will leave. Because I don't want any bad vibes in my spirit. I don't want any resentment growing in my soul, because I am responsible to take care of me. I am responsible to look after Chengi and make sure that Chengi is healthy, because Chengi has a lot of people to serve. A lot of people drink from my well. So I cannot afford to be in any situation. There are certain groups that I cannot be in, or certain conversations that I cannot partake in. And so I've learned to walk away without offending those who are having that conversation, right? I've grown in my awareness that I take care of myself. All of that is self-care. It's not selfishness, it's self-care. Because there are many that drink from your well too. And you are asking a man to come into your life to love you and not have all of you, have bits of you, because you left some at work, you left some with your colleague, you left some with your mom, you left some with this person, you left some in that activity, you left some in that music, you left some wherever. I want you to do is put yourself and your health. I want you to think about your soul as something that must be healthy, that cannot be infected. And look after it by using your mind, your will, and looking after your emotions. If something makes you anxious, if something makes you apprehensive, and you keep subjecting yourself to it, it will develop into a condition that will be very hard for you to invite somebody into your world and become a part of it. If you are in a situation that is doing away with your self-esteem, move away from that situation if you can. If you can't move away from that situation, get tools to manage that situation. Tools as in, this is what I do when I come across this, when I start to feel this way. I breathe, I do this. We need to become a lot more self-aware so we can have self-care and become the women that men love. Okay, become the women that men gravitate to, because we are full to the overflow. Okay, now talking about the physical body, I encourage you to take good care of your body. We're hearing about it. We're seeing the advent of health and wellness, and health and fitness companies are making billions or millions because we're all becoming conscious and aware. But I feel that many of us are into it to look good, but not necessarily to feel good. I don't care what size dress you wear. I care that you are healthy. I know women that are, overweight, in clinically overweight, but are fit, walk longer distances than me, can do more than me. My son, has been struggling with his weight. He's at that age where they get really chubby, but he's fitter than me, literally fitter than me. Okay, so he works out every day. He does. So it's about your wellness. It's about your wellness. And I would like to see women move further away from wanting to look after their body so they look good, because what it takes to look good in terms of health and fitness is very different from what it takes to feel good. I want you to feel good and really think about the food that you eat. When you finish having a meal, how do you feel? I'm not talking about the emotional high that you get when you're comfort eating and anything gives you that high because you've just finished eating. I'm talking about when you have a salad, can you sit back and say, that was nice. I feel energetic. I feel alive. I feel together. When we eat raw foods that are healthy and nutritious, there's a feeling that comes with it. I want you to know when you have a jacket potato, when you have pasta, whatever you have, what are you feeling? Because all of that feeds into your energy. Food not just feeds into your body, but it feeds into your energy. If you're eating dead food all the time, if you're eating food that is not nutritious, then it feeds into your energy and what you are able to bring to the world and whether you are able to self-care. If we put aside, if I was to challenge you to put aside the desire to be slim and trim and have all the muscles in the right places, and challenge you to desire to be healthy and to eat food that increases your energy, increases your output as a human being, and makes you feel good so that you can do good. What would that be? What lifestyle would that be? What would you do for activity? Would you walk more? Would you exercise more? What would you do? Okay. And then let's talk about the spirit. I know only one way to build up your spirit, and that's through the word and prayer. That's all I know. That's what I have trusted. That is what has built me up. That's what made my spirit woman strong, right? I am a spirit, and I am a powerful spirit. And I am one of those people that is very kind and very gentle, but my spirit has a reading. It doesn't come from when you are in my company. I'm a big person. Most people don't realize I'm only 5'2". Most people are like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm only 5'2". But I have such a strong and powerful spirit, and that is by the grace of God, of course, but also because I attend to my walk with God. I attend to prayer, I attend to fasting, I attend to the word, and it gives you an energy reading of power. Okay, and that's what I want you to have. I hope you're gonna be watching my video on Saturday. On Soul Saturday, I'm going to be talking to you about the power of woman. It will open your eyes, it will blow your mind, and you will never relinquish your power ever again. Because powerful women, happy women, healthy women are the women that high value men love. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of you, my darling. Bye-bye now.